son, we're about to go. But of course you'll never know where the ship's gonna take you. But we all know this is the Shanon Show. This isn't a romantic podcast.
I don't know what I'm
the
talking about.
stories will never run out. Banana thoughts or some
Are
wet
they wet?
socks trapping tight. Cause this is the Shanon Show.
Are you actually putting this on the podcast?
Okay, everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Shanon Show podcast. I'm so excited for this one for a few reasons. We have a great guest. He's been on the show before for a group episode, which was really interesting. You know, guy, my grandmother watched that episode, and
Shit!
You watched
Yeah.
it, and she's like, "Shane, I didn't know you didn't know about stomping your poop in the shower." That's what she said to me. She said that to me. I'm like,
I forgot
what? I'm like, what? Like, what? I never thought I'd have that conversation with my grandmother. It was ridiculous. But yeah, welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, of course. Waffle stomping's been a
Waffle stomping, that was what it was called.
Yeah,
She looked at me
it's
dead in the
been-
eye. She's like, "You didn't know what waffle stomping was?" Grandma,
I
what
learned
are
it
you
from my
talking
grandma. You know, she
you did,
showed me the ways. Yeah,
It's
it's
a
whole
grandma
thing.
thing,
Yeah,
I
it's a
guess,
grandma
yeah.
thing.
She showed you the ropes of stomping your shit. That's awesome. Maybe she'll listen
Yeah.
to this one too, and she'll enjoy the shout out. Shout
Yeah,
out.
of course. Shout out.
Yeah.
To the tips and tricks.
Yeah, they're the ones who show us all the important life skills, obviously. But
Exactly,
yeah, that
exactly.
was hectic. I had a lot of your boys on, Kai Grubbs, Aiden, who else was there? Henry was on there. He
Henry.
didn't say too much, but yeah, I always you guys always cracked me up. Obviously, I was a year older than you guys, but you guys had a really great relationship and growing up in Okinawa together, which is really unique. I think that is it crazy to you still that you spend so much time in a foreign country? Because whenever I think about it, still I'm like, wow, like that's kind of crazy to look back on.
Yeah, true. Like especially when you like come back to America, it really hits you because like there's no family mart or like just like
It's
little
weird,
stuff
yeah.
yeah,
And
for sure.
yeah, it's just something that you kind of carry around with you, and
Mhm.
it's definitely unique. And just telling that to other people, have you had that experience, like telling
Oh,
someone
yeah.
about that, and they're like, "What?"
Like, how are you from? Like
Yeah.
like I live in Oki. I say Okinawa.
Yeah.
Like,
How long were you
damn.
there for again?
Total?
Yeah.
12 years. 12, 13 years. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're really from there,
Yeah.
dude. It's wild, man. It's something else.
Most of my life. Yeah.
Yeah, but since we last talked, you've gone through quite the change in your own life. Last time we talked, you said you were with your parents in Texas, and now you're on your way to having a career of your own in the Air Force. You're an airman now. You went through base. You're going through the process. Take me back to the decision point, because that's a really life altering decision. Obviously, there's a lot of benefits that come with it, and there's also a lot of things that might be concerning, and some things that you might not want to pursue that come along with it.
Yeah.
Take me back to, was there any confliction when you're first thinking about joining? Was there any
Um,
hesitancy?
So growing up as a military brat, I was like, fuck no, I'm never joining the military, I
Yeah.
was like, I'm never gonna be moving around again. This is the last move I'm gonna do. I'm never
Yeah.
gonna join the military, stuff like that. I grew up preaching that literally all the way
Yeah.
until college, and then college hit, and that first bill comes around and you're like, damn.
Yeah.
You're like, damn,
Yeah.
and then like
Mhm.
also at the time I felt that what I was doing in college, I wasn't
Mhm.
really like, I guess like it wasn't like aligning with what I wanted for my life.
Sure.
Like I'm gonna go to college while in the military, but
Yeah.
just going to college, I felt like I was just like, I don't know, I just felt like undetermined.
What were you doing
like,
initially, whenever you
I
first
felt like
went
I
to
need. So I was trying to measure in business and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just felt like very like just directionless. I need
Mhm.
direction. I need some type of routine. Because I'm like my head's all over the place. I mean, like I procrastinate, write essays last second.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. I'm like, damn, what am I doing? And a lot of stuff happened with like my personal life,
Mhm.
and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take what my dad said, and I'm gonna join the military in my dad's
Yeah.
footsteps. Not the Marine Corps. I'm
Yeah.
gonna join the Air Force. My dad told me to join the Air Force, him being a Marine.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I'm gonna make this decision, and I'm gonna stick with it. I'm not gonna back out. So right around that time I signed up, went to a recruiting website and stuff, and
Yeah.
started talking to them, started the whole process, and I was like, at this point I can't back out. Like I'm not gonna sign up for the next semester for my classes.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go straight into it. So
So
yeah, that's kind of how it was.
why did you think that the military would give you that sense of order and that sense of direction? Was kind of a gamble you were willing to take? Because a lot of times people can join the military and still not really feel fulfilled in a lot of ways. Was that
So
just yeah,
I saw what the military could bring.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're
So
good. Yeah,
yeah, it keeps getting right.
you're
Okay,
good.
sorry.
Yeah,
So yeah, I saw what the military could like bring to someone, especially seeing my
yes,
dad and seeing where he came from back. Like
yeah.
I went back to his hometown, and it's like in Iowa,
Hmm.
and it's like
Iowa.
yeah, right, in the middle of nowhere, Iowa,
Yeah,
trailer parks, like a lot of like just like seeing how he grew up and to like where he is now,
yeah.
and what type of person he was to who he became. I really associated a lot of that with the
Hmm.
military and how the military really like lets you grind it out. You know, you
Hmm.
however much you put in, you get that much out.
Yeah.
So I really like that idea, I guess, and I really I think it like pushes you to do better. Like it doesn't
Hmm.
really like college. You go to college every day, and your professors like don't give a fuck about you. You're paying to be there, you know.
Yeah.
The military gives a fuck that you're doing certain things a certain way, you know.
Sure.
So I really like that because like I guess it gave me direction in a sense, especially
Yeah.
since I'm all over the place, and it gave me more of a push than just like being unmotivated.
Hmm.
Because now I can't just procrastinate last second and do it because you know it's my job now. I'm getting paid to
Hmm.
do it, you know. But yeah,
It's kind of like the opposite in college in a lot of ways. Now you're getting paid to do something, and you're also serving your country. I mean, that's a big pro that a lot of people take a lot of pride in.
yeah.
Um, so that's really cool how your perception of the military changed after you're no longer really a military kid. You got out of that community. Like it's just quickly like how quickly that can swivel. That's really interesting, man. Did you feel was part of it? I'm just curious, you longed for the military community back as well? Like, was any of it like, man, I just want to be back to where I'm comfortable. I want to be back to being around other military members. Because I mean, you grew up, you said in
Mhm.
Okinawa for 12 years. Like
Mhm.
that is such a big military community. I mean, I remember like Camp Foster. Like you go to the food court and you're just like sitting along a bunch of Marines eating like Subway or something, and that's an environment you don't get in college. It's really a stark contrast.
Mhm.
So, was that something else that you were kind of looking for, or was that not really on your mind?
I think low key that might have been like a subconscious thing
Yeah,
because I was
maybe.
talking about it with my mom the other day too
Hmm.
because my mom you know she's Japanese, she grew up most times in
Hmm.
Japan, but most of the times the Americans she did hang out with like military members and
Yeah.
military communities. So we're talking about it and she's saying like how much she hates it outside the like military
Yeah,
community. I was
that's
like, really?
strange, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like, she misses it too.
Mhm.
And I think low key I've been missing it because like
Yeah.
it's definitely different when you talk to someone that's like been in the military, has like, you know, is serving versus someone that's
Yeah.
like just out at Walmart, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's really different, and
It
it's
really
something you
is.
don't think about it while you're on base or like while
Hmm.
you're a
For
military
sure, for
kid.
sure.
And
Yeah.
it's
And
interesting because I consider that to almost be a skill now. Because like I like that direct, like the way that people in the military talk to you. Like it's direct, it's no bullshit, it's get your
mhm.
job done, it's like get it done efficiently, and that's something you don't always hear in college. Like I'll talk to a professor who's talking like really abstractly, and they're like,
Yeah.
like stuff like that. I'm like, what is this? Like it's just not what you're used to. So
Hmm.
I can totally see why you or your mom or anyone in my family as well would miss that. That's really something you don't think about, but it's really important for a lot of people.
True. It's really a way of life.
Yeah, it is, and you don't really think about it while you're going through it, but
Hmm.
it is. So take me to the point. You said you talked to a recruiter
Hmm.
actually enlisting. Was there
Oh
like an
man.
oh shit moment? Like was there like what did I
Yeah.
just do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went through MEPS the first time, right? And
Okay.
MEPS, it's pretty much like the physical that you do for the military to make sure
Yeah.
that you're fit to stay in the like you can be in
Uh-huh.
the military, like you don't have any like weird deformities or
Oh,
like you know like anything
that's
like
not
that.
funny. That's
Yo, no,
I just
but
imagined you with like a massive deformity. I'm sorry.
yeah, the hidden deformity, dude, it was
Yeah.
so awkward. Like they like make you wake up at like 4 a.m. in the morning and they try to treat you go through this process like military
Hmm.
style. So they're like yeah, trying to like being stern and mean and like get you ready for
Yeah.
basic and stuff like that. So like but dude, it was weird. Like I'm like really pee shy, right? Dude, I swear, man, it sucked. Like you have to like stand a certain distance away from the like the urinal. So
Hmm.
I had to go with a second guy. Like, there's two different guys. The first guy was like on me, like he's like intently like this like like this distance away,
Yeah.
just staring, bro, and I couldn't pee. I literally couldn't.
Watching you pee?
Yes, I mean that's what they do, you know, to make sure
Yeah.
you're not faking a pee or whatever. But like, man, I couldn't pee at all. Like I didn't. Like I drank so much water that morning just so I could pass the pee test. And finally, he's like, "All right, if you can't pee, like get back out there." And I'm like, "Man, you know." And I waited. And I finally like a new guy came in, and I peed
Yeah.
with that guy just fine. But yeah.
So wait, is the pee test like? Are they collecting a sample, or is the pee test just can you pee?
Oh no, you collect the sample. You pee.
Okay, I'm just making sure because that'd be
Yeah,
funny
yeah,
if it was like, are you capable
You're
of
just
urinating?
peeing. You have to pee under pressure. No, yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird. And the other thing they do is like they do is like they strip you into the underwear with like one like doctor in the room, right?
Right.
He's like okay, and he makes you do like weird stuff like he's like duck walk across the room, and you're just like it's you and another man in the room, and you're just duck walking across the room
In your
Just-
underwear?
in your underwear, yeah. And it's just like, okay, dude, okay, you know, you can't think about it in the moment, but in retrospect, it is like, I don't know, like, and another thing he did, if you're gonna join the military, you have to get ready for this, by the way. You have to pull down your pants, right? You know, the cock inspection, whatever. But
Okay.
there's a second part. He
Okay.
says turn around. He says turn around. You're like, pause. Like, wait, what do you mean? And then he says, touch your toes. You touch your toes, and he says, spread your cheeks. I don't know if he said it like that, but he said it in a very professional, like doctor way. But pretty much he says, spread your cheeks.
Yeah.
Just spread your cheeks for this old guy, so he could check up in there.
Yeah.
Very
Not
awkward
like that,
process.
right? No.
He puts his hand on your shoulders. No, I was kidding. But like,
Oh.
anyways. But yeah, it's a very like that process was very awkward. But in that moment, I was like, damn, yeah, okay, this is the military. But I think my oh shit moment came.
Yeah.
And I hopped on the bus. So it was like low key COVID times. Not really COVID times, but we had to like wear a mask on the bus. And
Yeah.
they weren't yelling at us the second we got off the bus. Like that's what I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
But I like go over there. We're sitting in the auditorium waiting for the guy to come in. And this guy's like talking to us like all normal. Then he walks outside and he puts on that MTI hat.
Yeah.
And it was like he was a different person. Like a different person. We all like he lined us all up.
Was it like that sounds like a cartoon? Like he puts on a hat and then his personality
Yeah,
changes?
it's like
So
the
dumb.
mask. It's like the mask. I'm like,
Yeah.
who is this guy? Like in my head, I was like, man, that's so corny. But I was shivering my timbers, bro. It was crazy.
That is corny.
They took us to our squadron, and like it was by the time we like got there and went through with all the process and in processing stuff. It was like
Yeah.
low-key night. It was like nighttime, and we like sat in front of our beds, and there's like yelling at us, like
Mm-hmm.
point to the inspection room, point to the bill, point to the bill.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? You know, I'm just, and then like that first night when you're sleeping in bed, looking up, you're
Uh-huh.
like, damn.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. I always figured that would
shit.
be.
You're like, what? I have to do this for how many fucking months? And I'm like, damn. And then, honestly, though, the first 3 days were so
Yes.
ass. Like the worst. I hated them. I hated them
Mhm.
so much. I was like, why did I do this? For the first 3 days,
Mhm.
it's all up. Like you're just like doubting all of it.
Yeah.
But then after that, you get into that routine. You wake up at 5:40, get out of bed. You're scared shitless of getting in trouble, but like
Mhm.
other than you just do what you're told. Roll, but dude, actually, I gotta show you. I gotta show you how.
Oh, we
I
got a little
did-
show and tell. Here we go.
Yeah. Because I actually
Okay.
kept one of my rolled shirts, right?
Okay.
Perfection. Give me 1 sec.
Please. This is ridiculous. He's gonna show me a rolled shirt. Man, this shirt must be really tucked away somewhere. This is crazy. Okay, here we go. You have a shirt. Okay. What do we have
You see
here?
this?
That's
This
a
is
nice
how they
roll.
make us roll shirt. This is how they make
Yeah.
us roll shirts. You're actually not supposed. These are used. You're not
Yeah.
supposed to have these rubber bands on here, but I did to keep form. But man, dude, look at this. Look at this shit.
It looks like a cinnamon roll. It's beautiful.
Yes.
Yes.
And you are forced to do your shirts like this.
Mhm.
Like honestly, like just grab a shirt nearby, like fucking try that shit. It is impossible, bro. It is impossible. It's
Yeah?
low-key like I was talking about it. They make us do like you have to like, dude. It's the first job. It's they give out jobs, right? Details to everyone. They put me on latrine, bruh. I was scrubbing poop off the fucking toilets for like most of my
Yep.
BMT experience, and finally I was able to trade out with a dude. But man, that sucked dick. And like, dude,
Yeah.
like it's crazy what people do at basic because I don't know, they're not in the real world or something. We got like literally someone like smeared poop all over the front of the sink at one
Bro,
point.
you and the poop talk. It's a
Okay,
given. I know it's coming.
I'm not trying to like lead it, but it's crazy, bro. It's wild.
Mhm.
I just like be expected to see the crazy
Mhm.
shit when you get to basic, and like it's outlawed now, but back when I went, you're allowed to have like cough drops. So people were like trading cough drops to do stuff for them. Not okay, not
What?
sus. No, okay, wait, no, pause. Not like not
What are we talking
not
about
like
here, Kai? What are these cough drops for?
not like okay, not favors in that sense, but favors like um taking like an EC shift or like
Okay.
rolling or folding the clothes for you. I'll fold your clothes for you if you give me like 3 cough drops, stuff like that, you know. It's like low key like jail, like the way
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
the economy works. We get protein bars for dinner, so like,
Oh,
but no, that's not the only thing we get for dinner. But at dinner time, we get protein bars,
okay.
and we be trading those to do like certain stuff. I don't know. Good
Gotcha, man.
times, man. Yeah.
So I'm curious, like, how much of this do you think is like scare tactics and just kind of silly and an act, and how much of it do you think is like actually beneficial for like these new recruits and being in the military? Because I've always wondered that, because a lot of it has to be like a little over the top, a little much, because obviously that's not like the actual environment in which you work in now.
Of course, of course. So like, I'd have to say like some of the sergeants are like really upfront and real with you
Yeah.
about like what kind of person you have to be in the military. Like one of the sergeants I had, actually, I'm not gonna name drop him, but man,
Oh yeah, good idea. Good
I
idea.
loved. Yeah. He was really really good. Like he like
Mhm.
wanted you to improve, you know? He wanted
Yeah.
improvement from you, and he like was motivational in a way of not like being like scary and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But just the way he talked and the way he presented himself, he was like really good at his job. And then there's other people that are just like you're just scared to even ask them a question, you know? Like at
Right.
first, a lot of it is just like psychological, like they're just fucking with you. Like
Yeah.
everyone get to the day room in like 20 seconds. And you know, it bottlenecks because like everyone's trying to
Yeah.
rush into that room. It's impossible. Like so, okay, it's possible when done right, but at
Mm.
first it is impossible. Everyone's uncoordinated and blah blah blah. So like they just do shit like that to like fuck with you,
Do
you
you
know?
recognize that in the moment though, or are you just like too
No,
stressed to
you're
understand?
there. It's yeah, it's their job to stress you the fuck out.
Yeah.
So this whole time, like you're just like tense, you know.
Hmm.
Finally, you get to bed, knockout, wake up, same thing again, you know.
Hmm.
So like in the moment, even if you like know that it's like a stupid tactic that they're trying to like
Yeah.
fuck with you with, you still get frustrated, you know. Like a lot
Hmm.
of times, I was like, they're doing this shit just like mess with us, but
Hmm.
even though I know that they're doing it to mess with us,
You're still getting messed with.
I'm still getting messed with, you know. So like, yeah, so yeah, no, but towards the end they were a lot more like they were like upfront with us. They were like really real with us, and they felt
Yeah.
like people. Like at first they're like really demonized, you know, like you didn't want to
Mm.
talk to any of them. We had this like six like huge sergeant with like lazy eye, but he was like crazy loud. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, good times for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like all of it was good, but do you think in the long run, like, is this like, I mean, it's 2022, like the military is one of those like institutions that like it's really traditional. It sticks to its guns in a sense,
Uh-huh.
and that this is how it's been doing it for a long time. It's going to keep on doing that because it's
Mhm,
making really high quality airmen and Marines and
mhm.
sailors. So do you think that this is the way to go? I mean, it's like old school tactics, but it's effective in a way, right?
Yeah, they definitely take a lot of. So I definitely think it's improving because
Hmm.
they changed from the old like yell, scream in your
Yeah.
face, beat you up, make you do push-ups, stuff like that,
Hmm.
to a more like make you think more and
Okay.
to like make decisions and stuff. Like for example, I remember my dad told me back at his training,
Hmm.
they gave him like a pencil and a paper and they start yelling at him to like follow instructions, right? But if you like pick up the pencil or you pick up the paper, they're like, did I tell you to pick up the pen?
Yeah.
So that's what I was scared of. Like, but at my BMT,
Hmm.
they'll if I wouldn't pick up the pencil, they'll be like use your fucking brain, you know? Like they force you to think about stuff like that, you know? It's like they force you to use common
Hmm.
sense, which I really like, and they also like enforce leadership roles onto some people as well. So I feel like that's
Yeah.
really good. But
Do you have
yeah,
some experience with that, like a forced leadership role?
not forced because I kind of wanted it.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, I
gotcha.
requested to be like, so we had like a fake deployment thing, and I
Hmm.
had to be like a leader for that. But yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah. So, what was your strategy going into it? Because I know one of my friends, Johnny Hoppy. I'm sure you might remember Johnny, but he's
Oh
like a
yeah.
lay low kind of guy. So he went through Marine Corps boot camp, and he's like, I'm just going to survive this. I'm not going to talk to anyone. I'm going to do what I'm told, and I'm just going to kind of skate through. And then I've talked to other people who are like, I want to be a leader in this. This is my career. I want to be a leader of people, and I want to do great things. Were you somewhere in the middle, or were you kind of leaning towards one side? Because
Um,
that's a really important decision. I'm assuming going into those few months.
yeah, so when I first came in, I was like,
Hmm.
uh, I wanted to change, you know? I didn't want to
Yeah.
be the same person I was when I went in. Like, I wanted to
Yeah.
have a different mindset. I wanted to be able to say that I improved as a person a lot, basic.
Hmm.
So I was like, I'm not gonna half-ass this. I'm gonna give it all
Yeah.
I got, you know? So I
Hmm.
really did go low-key, try hard.
No, I
You
mean,
know,
like that's
a
important.
lot of
Like,
the stuff there, yeah, and
yeah.
try to be a leader per se. But yeah, I didn't want to lay low. Like Marine Corps boot camp, I imagine I probably lay low for that. But like I kind of
Yeah.
wanted to stand out. Like low key, I'm an attention whore. Like
Mhm.
I'm not gonna even lie with you. So like, you know, like I wanted
You give me so many
I
good
wanted
snippets.
to
I'm not sure.
I
Like, I
wanted the
maybe,
sergeant to see me as like a good.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I wanted the sergeants to see me as a good
Yeah.
airman. So I really did
Mhm.
try to stick out in a good way. You know,
Yeah. No,
but
that's
no, I
important. I totally see what you
for
mean.
sure. And like
Isn't it weird? Just real quick, like, because whenever we're kids, and you said being a tryhard, and like we kind of like look down on people whenever we're like teenagers, like, oh, he's trying so hard. Like,
bro,
oh, it's cool to like not try hard. But in the real world, everybody's fucking trying hard,
you
man.
have to
Everyone's
try hard. Yes, it's
exactly.
like kick harder, you won't swim. You know, you'll fall down, you'll drown. You know,
Yeah.
like for sure. In, in the moment when I first got there, they're doing some like so like for example, they'll do like chants and stuff like just for before going into chow, they'll like say like a weird chant. I was like, damn,
Okay.
that's corny as shit. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
you never catch me saying anything like that.
Yeah.
But I tell you, in those
Yeah.
weeks, for some reason, these chants are getting cooler and cooler in your head. And you're like, all
Oh.
right, and by the end of it, you are yelling at the like with your fucking
Yeah.
lungs, you know, just as loud as you can, and it's fun,
Mhm.
you know. Growing up,
Yeah.
I saw people in JROTC. I was like, damn, I can never see myself like doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing left face, about face, marching and shit.
Yeah, you're
It's
doing a whole
crazy.
lot more than ROTC now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd hope so. I'd hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's definitely it changes your mentality on a lot of things for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was your
And
goal, right? I mean, that's part of why you wanted to do this, was like change yourself as a whole. So I assume like that's a good thing.
yeah, in a good way, of course.
Hmm.
It's not detrimental to you, you
Hmm.
know. I feel like the people that did like not make it through basic, I think it was a good thing that didn't make it through basic because I
Hmm.
wouldn't want to see how they would be in like an operational military, you know.
Sure.
So I feel
That's
like yeah, it's pretty much like it
mhm.
tries to weed out, I guess, the people that wouldn't be a good fit for the military.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's a good program, I believe.
Was there any surprises with that, or could you kind of tell from day one, like, oh, that guy's not gonna make it? Like, was there because can you tell like it from the get-go? Because I'm not sure if you even know what you're gonna look like. How long is the process again?
It's I forgot, like a couple months, like two
Yeah.
months, I think. Yeah, it's the shortest basic out of all of them. But
Hmm.
one of them like even try to leave. Like they would
Yeah.
tell you like, oh, we'll get you out of here as fast as you know as you came in. One of them tried to leave, but he couldn't leave at all. They're like, no, you gotta stay. You signed a contract, you know.
Yeah.
But the people, the people that actually left, one of them, yeah, he was kind of like he left because like
Hmm.
mental problems, and the other guy, I don't know how he made it through. He was literally missing a lung. Like he had one lung, so like he made it
Wait,
through
wait, wait. Did
MEPS.
he lose the lung during
No,
basic?
no, no, no,
Okay,
no.
just making sure. Just making
Yeah,
sure.
he somehow made it through MEPS and made it through all the
Yeah.
medical screening, came in, and then they saw his runtime. So we have like an initial PT test when you
Hmm.
first get there, you know. And they saw his runtime, like they're like, bro, why are you so slow? They're like, He's like, man, I can't breathe. I got one lung. And they're like, what the fuck? Like, we did not know you have one lung. So
Yeah.
then they took him to like the read whatever to like see if he actually had one lung.
They
He
didn't
actually
believe
had
him.
one lung. So like, yeah, we don't know if he could stay in the
Bro, you just gotta
military.
grade him
So
on a curve. Just cut his time in half. Like,
yeah.
just give him benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, right?
That,
Like give him a little waiver or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
I'm sure homie's
crazy.
trying his
So
best.
he really was. I feel bad for him, but yeah, so
Mhm.
like stuff like that. But yeah, you have to truly, it'll make you want to be there by the end of it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Was there this because obviously military kid podcast, so I feel like I have to ask this question. Were there any skills from your military kid upbringing that you think truly helped you in this process? Obviously, you had some exposure to the military community, but does all that just kind of get thrown out the door once you start, once you're shaking in your bed, or is there actually some skills that you can kind of look back on and utilize?
Um, okay, I think one thing,
Yeah.
like military kids, right?
Yeah.
Most military kids, you either learn how to socialize and talk with other
Hmm.
people, or you know, stay like introverted and by
Sure.
yourself. But I feel like growing up as a military kid and learning this like ability to make new friends
Hmm.
easier and you know be sociable really helps you a lot at basic because
Yeah.
the only people you have are the people in your dorm. So
Hmm.
like you should be able you make many friends quick and
Hmm.
you stay close to those friends because you are all going through this stressful situation together.
Yeah.
And it's more of like a brotherhood in a way. Everyone's like
Hmm.
one team, you know, one team, one fight. You really, yeah. But like being a military kid, another thing, hmm, maybe like actually I don't know. I think a lot of it's hard.
Yeah, because it's not something you really think about it in the moment, I'm assuming. It's not like, wow,
Yeah,
thank goodness I moved around a lot. Like this is really helpful now. Thank God my
yeah.
dad got deployed. This is the best thing ever.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
that's another thing.
Yeah.
Family, like homesickness. A lot
Sure.
of, especially being a military kid, you know, home is where family is, you know,
Yeah,
but family leaves
absolutely.
sometimes and you deal with it. Your dad goes
Hmm.
on deployments, your mom goes on deployments, you PCS,
Hmm.
and a lot of times it's really hard to like
Hmm.
have homesickness as a military kid because, you know, I guess, but like a
Yeah.
lot of people at BMT really, really struggled with like homesickness. Like it
Yeah.
was like a huge deal for them. Like, but like for me personally, I didn't feel too much of that, and I feel like
Yeah.
that's because I grew up, you know, with
Hmm.
moving around and you know sometimes not having family around and stuff.
Yeah, you're used to having like a parent missing for extended
Yeah,
amount
yeah,
of time
yeah.
sometimes. Yeah.
So that for sure was a huge. I don't know if that's a W,
Hmm.
but you know.
No, I mean that's just being real, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
just
So like, I think it helps with that for sure. Yeah, dealing with like that sort of stress in a way, because that's what most people were kind of dealing with
yeah.
stress wise. Like, man, I remember that first phone call that everyone got, like call back
Hmm.
home and stuff. It's like tell their parents how they're doing. So okay, there's one phone call, you pick it up and you're like, I'm here safe, blah blah blah. This is my
Yeah,
address.
yeah.
I love you, bye.
Hmm.
You can't even say I love you, just hang up, you know? It sucks. And you get an actual phone call like almost like halfway and a little bit through, and you get an actual
Hmm.
phone call, and that for you get 15 minutes,
Hmm.
and man, like you look around the room, and everyone's crying, tearing up, just
For
like
real?
just hearing their parents' voice. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like it's like the first time in a while. Yeah, like you don't think about it in the moment, but
Yeah.
like man, it is like really, you really feel like your family is home, you know, like it feels
Yeah.
so like genuine and real when you talk to your parents for the first time. Like right now, if I picked up my phone and I call my mom or dad, it's just like I'm calling my mom or dad, but like there,
Yeah.
man, it just felt like, you know, it was like a really sincere, like, I
Yeah.
love you. You know, it was like the most like I miss you guys. It was the most sincere I miss you, I
Mhm.
love you I've ever said in my life. Nah, yeah, it really I appreciated that moment a lot.
What was the most difficult thing for you? Was it scrubbing the shit off the floor? Was it like some like physical task, like or some of the
Um,
mental challenges? What was it for you personally?
so So PT wasn't that much of a challenge for me.
Hmm.
For me, I think the biggest thing is that mental thing. Like waking up in the morning knowing that you have the same day ahead of you.
Yeah.
Like when you're not in the routine is really annoying. Like you're just like it's not annoying as in a sense, it's just like,
Hmm.
damn, like another day. Wake up
Yeah.
like, damn, another day, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the graduation can't get any closer. But yeah, that the most difficult part, I guess, will be like a lot, just not having a lot of the outside stuff, like stuff that you're used to, just having
Yeah.
like I love music. I listen to so much music. That's like
Yeah, no music there, huh?
no music there. But when you just hear something like a car drive by, like just blasting their music, or just like any type of outside media that you could like grab onto a little bit, you hold it tight, man.
Yeah.
Like it is crazy. Like I remember one of our sergeants, like at like right at graduation,
Hmm.
before like we went off to do our airman's run, they started playing like this is how we do it. Today Was a Good Day by Ice Cube,
Yeah.
and man, like I felt that in my soul. I was like, ah, dude, it's crazy. Like just not having the outside things,
Yeah.
man, it gets rough,
Dude, I
especially
can't imagine. That's probably the best mute song you've ever heard in your life in that
right,
moment.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, for real. Like
Wild.
the first taste of like there's no soda at BMT. I
Yeah.
don't drink too much soda now, but like drinking soda for that first time, I was like, damn. Or eating like a nice burger, I was
Yeah.
like it makes you appreciate everything like a million times more,
What was the
for
food like?
sure. Honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. Like Kubi Cafeteria?
Maybe a little better, honestly.
Whoa, whoa. I mean, that's not the highest bar, but I believe
Yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah. It's not the highest bar, but like, um, I remember like the chicken was dry as shit. This is gonna be unusual, but then we started using like weird tactics to like have better food. Like there's no dessert, right? Actually,
Right.
there's a dessert bar, and it's in the so basically how the cafeteria is set up. There's like a spot where all the MTIs sit to
Yeah.
eat, and it's called the Snake Pit, and
Okay.
they're just sitting there waiting for anyone to make a small little mistake, and they'll be like grilling your ass.
Uh,
Anyways, what they do is they put the dessert bar, this little box, this little refrigerator of dessert right in front of that pit.
yeah.
So to get to it, you have to do perfect marching movements and facing movements to get
This
to
is
it.
kind of funny. And then,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So no one dared to get dessert. So like everyone
yeah.
started like thinking of like cool ways. And then we learned this from an old guy. There's this thing they used to do. They I was the last squadron to do it. Was the KP duties. Pretty much you wake up like 4 in the morning and
Mhm.
you go over to the cafeteria and you help scrub shit off the plates. You help move the trash out. Just like
Yeah.
doing a whole bunch of chores additionally. But one of the old guys in there, he told us about like it's like peanut butter trick, like peanut butter Reese's cup trick, and we're like, what are you talking about? So they at the defect they gave us hot cocoa powder. He's like, you have to mix a defect hot cocoa powder with some peanut butter and then mix it like add water, like slowly, not water, add milk, like slowly add milk, right?
Yeah.
And you keep mixing it and it creates this like paste. And you add like Rice Krispies in it and you mix that and you eat it. Man, it is so good. Like it is that's so good.
You get creative,
Especially
huh?
when you're yeah. It's like how you see like those TikToks, it's like this is how you make a prison dessert instead of like
Yeah.
prison cake and shit like that. It was like that. I don't know. It was kind of ghetto, but man, it was fucking fire, bro. But
Yeah.
other than that, oh, one time we got brisket. The brisket was
Ooh.
fucking heat. Like it was
Yeah.
actually banging. Like sometimes the food would be like really, really good. Breakfast is always really good in the mornings.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just like mid.
Hmm.
You get bored of it, but you have to eat it because
There's no
it
other
is what it
options.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts. No other options.
Do you, how do you feel yourself changing throughout the process? Obviously, you want to change. You want to become a different person. You want to,
Mhm.
I'm assuming, become more detail oriented. You want to be more responsible, have some more direction in your life. Are you noticing this like day to day, like that you are like mentally and physically becoming a different person, or is it just kind of something that's kind of gradual and you're going day by day and it's just like whatever?
Um, I think for sure. I remember when I first felt like, damn, I'm really changing, is
Yeah.
when I yelled, like just loudly,
When you
like
what?
having to like yell. They force you to
Oh
yell.
yeah.
You have to yell loud. Like I'm
Mhm.
like at first I'm like murmuring, like
Yeah.
I'm not really speaking with my chest or
Sure.
talking out like that. But the first time they make us like really yell at the
Hmm.
top of our lungs, and like it gets easier and easier as you do it. And
Hmm.
by the end, when I'm like actually yelling, I'm like, damn, like can't
I'm loud
believe.
as shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like you're like it really makes you see like how much you've came from, like where you came from
Yeah.
then to like where you are now, especially at graduation and stuff. Like
Yeah. What's the
especially
graduation
I
like?
think the biggest thing feels nice It's like we have like two different graduations. One
Yeah.
is like a run day, and then the coin ceremony, and then tap out, and then the next one's just like marching. So like we'll just do like marching
Yeah.
movements and stuff. But like that's the one thing is drill. Like drill's like
Mhm.
marching. At first, you really suck at it. Like everyone sucks at it, except for the JRTC kids. They're clean with it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's
The kids we
crazy.
used to make fun of.
Yeah, now they're like on the top of the totem pole. You're like,
Yeah.
please teach me how to, it's crazy. But like at first you suck at it, and then as the basic goes on and on and on, you get better and better and better. And then like towards the end of it, it's like slight. Right flank
Yeah.
arch, bang, you hit that. Left flank
Bang.
arch, bang, you hit that. It's easy. At first you're like
Yeah.
stumbling all over the place, and that's one place it really gives you a lot of confidence. And that's what I
Yeah.
love about BMT is they structure it to give you like build your confidence and
Yeah.
build like,
That's really
these
cool.
like yeah, they
Yeah.
definitely help you develop stuff like that.
Mhm.
Especially like sorry.
No, I didn't. Go ahead.
Like one thing they did was like your run belt, right? So
Okay.
if you're like a slow runner, like the slowest runners get like a red belt, which sucks because red's my favorite color. But I was never able to get the red belt.
Okay.
It's the slowest runner, and it's like yellow, green, and then blue.
Yeah.
Blue's the top. So then if you did better on your runs, they'll give you like a better belt. So that's
It's like
another thing. Like
Taekwondo. What the
yeah,
hell? It's
right?
so random.
And they track your progress in different
Yeah.
ways to show how you are improving.
Mhm.
Like one thing with like RLA checks, right? Basically, they'll fucking tear up your shit just to make sure if there's a little string on your OCP, or
Mhm.
like there's this little lint on your hat, like they'll demerit you. And at first, I had hella checks, like it was so bad.
Yeah.
Like I was actually one of the worst in the dorms, And then eventually like
Yeah.
oh it's good. Sorry,
You
I'm
got your like, yeah, so I'm just talking about poop on a podcast.
But yeah, so then what was I saying? Oh yeah, then they do it the second time around,
Yeah.
and of course you improved a lot. Like I got way
Yeah.
better on my check. Like it was like a
Mhm.
million times better for sure. But
That must be
yeah,
really satisfying too, I can imagine.
yeah, it was really satisfying, especially because like, man, when you first
Yeah.
came on, yeah.
So how do you get into finding out like what you want your job to be? Like how do you find
Oh,
out what your career is going to be? Is there like a certain step in basic that you kind of start
that's
gearing
not
your thoughts that way?
at basic. That's
Yeah.
before you go into basic, you get your
Okay.
job. But if you go in like open general, you get your job at basic. But
Yeah.
like for example, you have to make like a job list for the Air
Okay.
Force. You're like, there are 10 jobs I am okay with getting in
10's a
order.
lot.
Yeah, 10. Finding 10.
Yeah.
I got really lucky. I got the job I wanted. I
Yeah.
put number 1 on my list. I was like, like my recruiter really hooked me up with that.
Yeah, what was
But
that?
contracting
Gotcha.
specialist. Yeah, I just
And
like
what does that entail for you?
I'm just gonna be buying stuff for the military, procuring stuff. You know how it
Uh-huh.
is. It's big money, bro. Like,
That's awesome.
yeah. But and you get to travel a lot with it if you use it correctly. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
Yeah, is traveling
But
and
yeah, that's
seeing the world
basically
like
how
that's
it is. You set up a list, you talk with your recruiter, and they'll
yeah.
be like, hey, these are the available things. Do you
Mhm.
want, you could, if you want a job, like you really, really want it,
Mhm.
you just have to wait for it, But if you
Gotcha.
want to get shipped out as soon as possible, then you're gonna have to like take a low tier job that you don't really want, or like
Yeah,
go
that
in
doesn't
open general.
that doesn't seem like a good sacrifice to make. Like this is like your
Yeah,
entire life just to save you a few months.
but some people like join the military, I feel like, to like just get the fuck out of where they are. Just like they
Yeah.
want to leave like that area, that life
Mhm.
behind as soon as possible. I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest reason that looks nice to some people,
That
especially
makes
like
sense actually. Yeah.
yeah. I knew like one of my friends, he was like, yeah, I was just trying to get out. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the first thing you think of to get out as fast as possible was the military.
Yeah, that makes a
So
lot of sense.
hmm
Damn. And then where are you now? Like when did you finish basic? Where are you now? I know you're waiting. You're going to Alaska eventually, right? Eventually going to
eventually.
Alaska.
So
Are you excited about that?
uh it's like a mix
It's
of
cold there.
emotion.
It's
Yeah,
cold there,
it's
man.
very cold there.
Yeah.
Beautiful nature, but it's freezing and there's no
Yeah.
one there. But it's
A lot
whatever.
different than Okie, man.
For sure,
And
right?
Texas for that matter.
Oh man.
Mhm.
So I finished basic. I graduated like August
Hmm.
5th, I think August 5th, 4th, something like that.
Gotcha.
And then I went through tech school. I
Hmm.
graduated tech school October 12th, and
Awesome.
now I'm just waiting to dip. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what happens when you get to Alaska? Like you just walk into your first job? Like who do you talk to? Do you just like
It's
walk on
like
base?
you have to go through like this whole like in processing briefing
Yeah.
with all your stuff. Hey, here's your dorm. Here's this. Here's
Yeah.
that. They show you around the area. You know, your little. They give you
Hmm.
this like huge fucking green backpack that like hurts your shoulders and stuff
Uh-huh.
to like ruck around. But yeah, it's gonna be. I'm pretty. That's what I'm assuming it's gonna be like.
Hmm.
Hopefully, and then so after your tech school, you start like on the job training. So you
Yeah.
start training for your job while doing your job at the same time.
Hmm.
So like tech school is like basic information about your job and like certain like foundational skills for your job,
Hmm.
and then you get to your job and they're like, okay, this is actually how we do it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
so
sure
it's
there's a
yeah,
little bit of a difference between like practicality and how you actually implement those things
yeah,
versus
for sure.
theoretically. That's
Hmm.
interesting. How do you think you've changed socially, man? Because I mean, like you're an adult, you're an airman now. Like this is like your life's totally different. You go
Uh,
from like
as you
has your
know,
connection like to your
um,
past friends
I'm a
changed?
very
Who do you hang out with now? Has that changed a lot for you?
hang out with, yeah, for sure. Cause like I mean, I still try to play online with my
Yeah.
friends and stuff. Like I haven't played with Grubs in a while, but I've been playing with Kaisei a lot recently and Nico
Yeah.
sometimes too. But like real life, you know, I'm not really seeing
Hmm.
anyone of my old friends like Aiden, Henry,
Yeah.
or Grubbs and them.
Hmm.
So it's definitely different. Like having like friends back home versus friends in the military, because like
Yeah.
you know that your friends in the military, you're gonna see them move, come quick, you know,
Yeah.
just like that. So yeah, it's a little bit
Is
different.
that weird meeting new people and knowing that your paths are going to like diverge relatively soon?
Um, for sure, especially at
Hmm.
basic, because you made
Hmm.
like close, like you're like that at
Yeah.
basic, like that, right?
Yeah.
Then you dip out. You're talking at first, and a couple weeks later, like you aren't really seeing each other. You don't really
Hmm.
play games with each other, so like you just like lose contact with them, even though like you literally were
That
like
must be so weird, man. But that's
this.
kind of similar to
Yeah,
military kid stuff too, right?
it's weird.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a
Exactly.
weird,
So
weird
that's why I feel
experience.
like military brat stuff like sets you up for that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What are you most concerned about moving forward? Do you have like a long-term plan for the military? I know you said you want to go back to college eventually. What's exactly on your table, or are you just kind of like going day by day still at this
All
point?
right, all right. This is the plan.
Yeah,
This is
let
the
me
plan.
know for real, like because everyone
I'm
has a
gonna
different plan
go
once they get.
while I'm in the military.
Yeah.
Gonna try to get done, try to get associates or
Hmm.
maybe a bachelor's. You're not done. I'm just gonna try to finish my military degree, not military degree, my college degree. While in,
Yeah.
I signed up for 4 years. That's all I'm doing. I'm doing four, is what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
That's what I want to do, is do four and get out.
Mhm.
But if I really really love it and I really get into it and I don't know, get like a station like Germany or something,
Mhm.
maybe I'll stay.
You could see yourself doing that.
Or
Yeah, I lost you
if
for
for
just a
sure.
second. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good.
Shit, what happened?
No, you're good. You cut out for just a second, but you said you can see
Oh, okay,
yourself
okay.
staying in longer if it was a really good situation for you.
Yeah, if it's like, yeah, yeah,
No, you're
anyways.
good.
But yeah, so if I could move to a really nice area, because
Yeah.
I really want to travel a lot, but if
W-
they gave me like a good gig and I enjoy my job a lot
Mhm.
and they allow me to travel and stuff, then I might stay in like a little
Mhm.
bit longer.
Would you go back to
But
Oki? Is that something you'd be excited to do?
yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely go back to Oki. I'd love to, but it is what it is.
Mhm.
If I can't, I can't. If I can, I
Yeah.
can't.
That must be so strange, man. Just like being on the other side of it. You spent so long growing up in this military lifestyle, and now you're part of it. So that's always a really cool transition. It's
For
it's
sure.
interesting, and I know a lot of kids in the military really really are considering that path because it's just what they're
Hmm.
used to. It's what they're comfortable with, and
Hmm.
they obviously idolize their parents and the people who serve our country, who are their heroes growing up a lot of times. It's really cool the transition you've been able to make. And do you have any advice for kids who are joining the Air Force or any branch, just as a whole? Like what do you have to for them who are going through this process and really gung ho about joining?
Like life advice or like advice
Like
ever.
career life advice, basic
Career,
advice, just
career
like
life advice. All right.
for. I mean, I know you probably don't feel like you're on like the most experienced guy out here, but people like one day want to be in the position that you're in. As weird as it
Mhm.
sounds.
I think one thing is for
Hmm.
sure, don't half-ass it. Like if you're gonna
Yeah.
go in full throttle. Because for me, what somebody told me about advice wise is
Hmm.
like the military will give you however much you put into it,
Right.
you know? So if you're going to do it, don't fuck
Hmm.
up, Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only advice I got.
Yeah. That's a really common thing that I've noticed from the military for sure. I have a would you rather question for you, Kai Krogan, because I know you're an expert with these. This is going to be for the rest of your life. I call it my preposterous predicament. I know you have a lot of insight into really silly things. It's not poop related, unfortunately, but it's pretty nasty for you.
3 seconds on the clock. I'm playing basketball. It's time for an in-your-face disgrace. Are you okay? My nose is in my brain. Let me see.
Would you rather
Oh my God.
eat a cube of dry ice? You're familiar with dry ice? Would not go too well for
Oh,
your
I have
insides. Yeah,
sensitive teeth.
that's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
bring.
yeah, inside
Yeah,
too.
exactly. That's not
Yeah,
gonna feel good.
yeah.
Or your own left foot.
Okay, wait. Okay. So like, am I cutting? Who's preparing my left foot? Is it
Yeah,
raw?
I I mean, you could probably season it. You could probably have it. I'll give this to you. You can have it professionally amputated. You can have it prepared, seasoned, grilled, baked, however you
Oh,
like.
perfect. Oh wow. So like, I could
Yeah,
have Gordon Ramsay cook my left foot. I'll take my
yeah,
left
but no,
foot.
you don't have a left foot though anymore. Like you have to take that into account.
Ah, true.
Yeah, you don't get to just eat it and then it respawns.
That does suck.
No, I'm
Um,
not even sure if you can survive eating dry.
dry ice. Yeah. I think I have my insides messed up. Yeah, yeah. I'd rather take some external damage, man.
External damage, just a little
Yeah,
flesh
yeah.
wound on you.
And it's like really good too. I'll take it. Prosthetic foot.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
yeah, dude, you would look dope with a nice little prosthetic foot and get it. I don't know, little little nice skin unlocked for you. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's kind
Yeah,
of badass.
yeah, for sure. That might lower the color on your running belt though. That might take you down a few levels.
Maybe I could get to red.
Yeah, your favorite color. There we go. You can build your way
Exactly,
back up.
exactly.
That's awesome. And then Kai Krogan finally has a deformity. That's not even a funny joke. This is kind of awful now that I think about it.
Dude,
Yeah,
you're gonna
this is
see me a
strange.
couple of years later with like an actual deformity.
Yeah,
Imagine.
okay, don't say that, man. Don't say that. What are you talking about? Dude, I'm gonna feel bad. I'm gonna go back and watch
Alright.
this. I'll be like,
Alright.
fuck, man. I jinxed them. I set them up for this.
Hey, I'm knocking on wood. I'll
Yeah,
blow.
me too. I got you, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, of course, of course. So anything else on your end? Anything else that you're looking forward to? Obviously, you got quite the next few years laid out for you. It's gonna be quite the
I
journey, I can
do.
imagine.
I
Yeah.
do. What should I say? What should I say?
What did you say? Are you anything? What about Alaska? Are you going to get some ice fishing in? Are you going
Oh,
to?
I was thinking about that. I was
Yeah,
thinking about that. Like ice fishing, camping,
ride a moose,
um, what are like other outdoor hiking,
hiking. You're definitely going to get into hiking. That's nice.
snowboarding. Oh man, all that stuff.
Yeah,
Snowboarding seems fun. That's like a really Henry and Aiden thing to do, but
that is. Yeah, who are you becoming, man?
yeah, right? If I become like a whole different person, I'm gonna come back with like blonde hair, blue eyes. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Bro, I remember they come in every single day to class, into stats class, and they just be like, dude, I wonder what the waves are like today, man. Like, I wonder, dude. Like, I'm like,
Well,
can you guys shut up for 5 minutes? Like, that's all they would talk about is the damn waves. I'm like, just you'll see, just go outside. Like the ocean's right there. Like it's
no, yeah, no, they like. I miss them though. I miss them doing that type of shit.
no, they're great. They're great. They just took
Yeah,
it
yeah,
really
yeah.
seriously. I'm like, and they live like right on the water too. I'm like,
Yeah,
just
bro.
you'll see as
Yeah,
soon as you get home.
man. Yeah, that's another thing you take for granted, bro. The things you see as a military kid, beautiful.
Yeah.
Really changes your perspective on a lot of things.
Yeah. Do you think that you have like a better worldview than some other guys who come from different places? I know that's like a really like cliche thing, but just like being exposed to different cultures,
Hmm.
has that been helpful?
For sure. Especially like I've seen people like at
Mm.
basic, bro. Like they haven't like left their hometown or like their
Right.
state even.
Yeah.
It's like damn, you know.
hmm
But you could
It's
see
hard for
like
you to imagine. Exactly.
yeah. Like imagine just like staying on Camp Foster your whole life. That'd be crazy.
That's brutal,
That's really
man.
small, but you know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a
Ugh.
similar comparison. It really is. Um, well, Kai, I really appreciate you coming back on, man. I know this was probably not as chaotic as our
course.
last one, but I do think it's helpful. Anytime I have someone
Yeah.
can come on and talk about that entry to military experience, it's a really good thing for people to hear about.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on.
Yeah, of course, and I'm sure we'll do it again sometime. I mean, you're always a pleasure. I need some more poop stories on the podcast. I was
I got
trying to say
anytime.
earlier. Yeah, I have like these out of context clips, and you are just perfect for them. Like I just put in clips, and you, like, I got like 4 or 5 of them of just you like saying things from our last episode. That
Oh
if you just
man.
isolate them,
Yeah,
are just
I gotta
awful.
calm down before I get
Yeah,
canceled.
man, you gotta be careful out there. You-
Oh yeah. I'll definitely try to get more crazy wild stories and
yeah,
some
try not to
insanity.
touch as much shit though. Like, come on, like we
Oh
can level
my
up.
dude. Yeah, I'll definitely try not to. Man.
Yeah, that's a good goal. That's a good goal.
Yeah, it's a good
Everyone,
goal.
for that matter. Just don't touch poop. Waffle stomp if you have to, and shout out grandparents out there who know all about waffle stomping,
That
and
was
we
beautiful.
don't. They're the
That was
best.
beautiful.
Sure does. I just oiled it. Beautiful. Give it up, baby.
Who you a fool for this?
Oh Lord, Jesse made another one.
Back in the mail, it's gone. Shit like I smell. Yeah, I just signed a deal, I'm on. Yeah. I go where I want, good. Play if you want. I'm a young CEO, sure. Yeah. The first nigga play. Just back.